Hi everybody, welcome to the Attract Capital webinar series. Janine here with Dave, CEO.
Hi everybody.
Today we're going to be talking about decoding banker speak in a tough lending market. So Dave, can you please tell us what banker speak is?
Banker speak is a language, Janine, that is used by bankers when they are equivocating or they're hedging. So it's a way of communicating that bankers use when they're not quite sure or confident in their ability to deliver on the loan you want them to deliver on.
Okay, so they're kind of like moving around.
They're kind of being a little shifty, and they're saying, well, I like it, but I really don't know. And so their indecision kind of changes the words that they use and the style they use to communicate.
Okay, so you feel this is used when the market is tough. So why do you feel the lending market is tough right now?
Well, the lending market, particularly the bank market, is tough right now. Bankers are very concerned about the pandemic, the uncertainty, the recession. They don't know how bad it's going to be, how long it's going to be. The alternative lending market, the mezzanine lenders and the private debt funds, are a bit more open for business, and they're a bit more open-minded about new business right now. But bankers have really pulled back right now, and it's a tougher market. Deals are still getting done, we're still getting deals done, but it's certainly not as easy as it was last year.
So why is banker speak used then?
Banker speak is used by bankers, not the non-bankers, but the bankers, to obscure the fact that they really can't get anything done, or they are being told to look like they're looking at deals, but they're really not in a position to get deals done. So it's an evasive, banker speak is sort of an evasive communication technique to kind of hide the fact that they really can't get much done right now.
I see.
Right.
So how do we decode banker speak?
Well, you really want to check what they're saying and how they're saying it. And all these bankers are really good people, and we have great relationships with them. They're just in a tough spot. But it's the words they use and the manner in which they use them. So, for example, some of the bankers that we talk to are very dramatic. They are, in some ways, they're kind of putting themselves up on a pedestal and saying how hard they've worked over the last 3 or 4 months, and they almost seem to be looking for empathy. And it's not a good position when you're talking to a banker about a new deal and he's telling you about, oh, we did all this over the last couple of months, because you really want him present. You want him or her in the now, looking forward, and in fact, they're in the now looking back at what they did. So that's one way in which we see bankers speak. The other way is they just overtly come out and say that they're concerned about their portfolio companies, or the credit screen is tightening. And if that comes out in the first conversation where we're concerned about the portfolio, the credit screen is tightening, it's usually a telltale sign that they really can't get very far with the loan that you're proposing. A lot of times they will be slow to respond, or you'll get no response at all. So you'll say, hey, we've got a great new deal.
That's not nice.
Yeah, and they're just not getting back to you. So they're communicating in a silent manner because they really can't do anything. And then the other form of banker speak that we see is particularly maybe some of the younger bankers that we work with. They get very excited about a new deal. This sounds really great. This sounds great. We love it. We love it. We love it. And 2 days later, they're like a different person on the phone. They have a somber tone. They're talking in hushed tones, and they're basically saying, listen, our credit committee really didn't like it, but they had no idea. They were clueless about how their credit people were going to view the loan on the front end. So it's really, they can be dramatic. They could say negative things about the portfolio. They may not be present. They may not respond, or they might be overly excited. But those are the types of things that give you tips that they're really not interested in putting money out. So they use those language techniques.
So now I know what to look for.
Right.
So now how would you know that a bank is actively lending?
So you just said the $1 million word, Janine. The word is actively lending. So if somebody says they're actively lending, so the question is, are you lending? And they'll say yes. And you'll say, are you actively lending to new borrowers? And if they're actively lending to new borrowers, then that's a lender that you want to talk to, a banker you want to talk to. You also want to talk to people that are not overly concerned, that are in the present. They're not concerned about the bad loans they have in their portfolio, or that they didn't make too many aggressive loans over the last couple of years, so they have extra money to put out right now, because it's a great time for bankers to be putting money out right now, because if a company came through this cycle, it's truly a great company and it deserves a loan. But I would say actively lending to new borrowers, and then banks that aren't worried about their portfolio or kept their powder dry, those are the people that speak in language that you want to do business with.
All right. So now we know how to decode banker speak and look for the banks that are actively lending.
Correct.
Thank you very much for sharing that.
You're
and that's
welcome.
all we have today. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys soon.